for the serious gamer.
Hey, this is Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics. This is our Novice Guide video series. This is part 2, and we're going to show you the basics of learning how to shoot. Alright, there are a couple of things you've got to sort of adjust and get used to before you're going to get proficient at shooting in first-person shooters, particularly Modern Warfare 2, which is a high-action, fast-paced sort of game that you're going. And this is sensitivity. As you can see, when you're looking around, you need to be able to turn and focus on different points depending on when they're firing from. Obviously, you don't want to be standing in the open like this, but for demonstration purposes, that's what we're showing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to sensitivity, and we're going to show you the differences between these, the movements, which is basically how fast you can turn around, how fast you can look. It doesn't change how fast you move, it changes your camera and where you're actually viewing. So when we go to low, this is pushing it extreme. So you notice that the turning and how you turn around. So if someone was behind you and shooting you, chances are you're going to get killed because there's no way you're going to turn around fast enough. Now the other extreme, which is, some people use it, and you'll notice how fast it is. You turn around in a split second. You must get used to this. Basically what you do when you start out, we recommend you start on medium. If that's too fast, you go to low. As you get better at accuracy and targeting and staying on target with someone, then you increase your sensitivity, and you do that with experience, but do not start high. Start as medium, and if you have to, then low. For me, I usually play it around 7 mark, so it's fast enough. Regardless as to what sensitivity level you have it at, you'll get used to how much pressure and how much you actually have to move the stick in order to control that movement. So now we're getting into the 2 basic ways of shooting. The first one is shooting from the hip. And this is basically, you're not bringing your sights up, you're just pressing the fire button and shooting. The other way, which is this, is bringing up your sights, whether it's red dot, iron sights, or whatever it is. It will increase accuracy because you control the spread pattern of your shots. Now, a problem with most novice players is they get into the bad habit of always pulling up their sights, particularly in close quarters. Now, while it's only a split second to actually pull the sights up versus shooting from the hip, that split second can mean the difference between you dropping the enemy and them dropping you. So when you're in close quarter, get in the habit of just shooting from the hip. Don't pull that sight up. See that split second there that it takes to bring it up? That can be life and death for you. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick little note here. Another mistake that novice players make is firing their primary weapon until it's depleted and there's no more ammo, or you run out of the clip and then all of a sudden you're trying to reload. Don't do that. When you run out, just like that, switch to your secondary, your handgun, or whatever it is that you have equipped. Don't try and reload your primary weapon, okay? Because it takes a lot longer, and while you're trying to do that, standing around reloading, chances are they're going to plow into you and you're going to die. Now, I'm going to show 2 intermediate firing techniques. The first one is called strafing. So let's pretend that telephone there, or whatever that is the enemy. Now you notice I'm keeping the red dot, or my reticule, or my firing on the target while I'm moving sideways. And basically what you're doing, just like this, is you're harder to hit. So this is a close quarter engagement type of shooting style. You keep your reticule or your aiming iron sights, whatever it is, on the target while you move sideways. You're harder to hit, and you can sometimes take advantage of online lag. Now, the second technique is called a drop shot, and to do this, you're going to go into your options and your button layout, and you notice I'm going to change it to tactical. And if you notice on there, and I'll show it again, it just flips them back. It changes your crouch and your prone and your melee attack from the button. And because you don't want to actually move, you don't want to have to take your hand off the controls here. And this allows you, when you engage in an enemy, drop immediately. It's a lot easier because both of your thumbs are on the actual camera and the actual movement as well, like the motion moving forward. So when you engage an enemy, instead of just firing at them, you're immediately pushing down like you're kind of running or sprinting, except it makes you drop immediately. You're a much harder target to hit when you're prone than if you were just standing there. You will need to practice this one to perfect it. Well, thanks for watching. For more strategies and tactics on Modern Warfare 2, visit NextGenTactics.com.